Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun in Martha's Vineyard, a Summer House Martha's Vineyard podcast.
Rolls off the tongue.
Season 1, episode 11.
11.
Oops. Episode 7, as in
Wow.
7-Eleven, if you know what I mean.
I was like, there are not 11. I was like,
What?
did I miss half the season?
Whoops.
April
Okay.
Fools. Not in April.
We're recording this early. It's a sunrise recording. So forgive me if my head is a little splattered, if you will. Okay. But check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, Vanderpump Rules podcast, and we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. I haven't checked, but I'm gonna assume that we have 0 for this podcast.
Yeah,
Great.
nothing new since that wonderful last review that we got. So
great. Thank you so much. Also check us out on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I cannot wait until I finish this series so I can go looking for something.
One episode, Alicia, one more episode. I can't wait to see what you find too, because I don't use Twitter anymore. I deactivated my account, and I'm sorry, I don't use X, and they won't let you look at tweets anymore if you don't have an account. So
really,
you're my only source.
I haven't updated my app to X, so I still have the bird because I fucking hate Elon Musk, but also Twitter's so good.
And what's sad is like Threads is the same, and so I can't even like pretend to go get that stuff. It's an app only.
Yeah, so it is fine. Anyway, great. What else should you do? Oh, you should join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our awesome pre-shows where Meredith and I, and sometimes Sarah, join in, and we talk about whatever the fuck we want. Also, you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go and watch old seasons of shows, such as old and vintage Vanderpump Rules or Summer House, we'll have an after show where we can talk about current Bravo news. This show, though, even though we're a little late, is still the most current season they have. So we'll talk about Bravo news. We don't give a fuck. And also for $2 a month, we will say your name. So thank you to Brittany, Chris, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Kirsten, Casey, Kelsey, Lauren, Rebecca, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tonette, Tracy, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Leanne, Robin, Sarah, and Taylor, and Tiffany.
Incredible.
The end, I was like, I don't know where the end is, but I got it.
It's funny, we haven't done like a sunrise recording in a while, and like it's crazy how much your brain is different from the morning to the night.
I just blacked out saying all those names. I have no idea who was there, but thank you so much. I'll listen back later.
Well, we save every week, so like I know who you are.
You know, because you're listening. I zone in to just read.
My body, I just realized, could not like take in that information. It's too early.
Rejected.
Yes. Bounced right off me.
And for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live seasons like now, even though this isn't live, but I still post, we want your thoughts.
The gray area.
Yeah, we want your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns. We'll read them on the podcast. And then also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode is a $5 patron. Commented on last episode. It's a Lauren. And Lauren said, this was such a fun episode to listen to. Sorry, Meredith, but the roasting was hilarious. And if you guys listened to our last episode, I really roasted Meredith a few times in
twice.
There. Lit her up like a candle.
It's okay. It went downhill from there because we logged on to record this a few days ago, and I had totally blanked on even watching the episode.
Hilarious. So she deserves it.
I'm not my podcasting prime these days.
She was so scared to log back on because I roast her so bad. Who knows what's going to happen today?
I just pushed it off. I actually did that purposely.
You were like, I just need more mental capacity to recover from Alicia.
I need to go talk to my therapist before I record this again.
And then Lauren also said, I'm still giggling about insecure actors. That's great. And then she said, thanks, ladies. Have not regretted joining the Patreon. And I'm really thankful that Bravo gave us Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, this is great. This is great content. I have zero complaints
You
about
know
the show.
what? Martha's Vineyard is giving us what I think we hoped out of Winter House. You know?
Yeah, Winter House is awful.
Like I
No
liked,
offense.
but I like the format of the compressed time. Like,
Yeah.
but they're doing it better.
Winter House needs to give us 8 episodes or I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
You know what I do want Martha's Vineyard to step it up in though?
What?
Their parties I need to be a little more extra. You know, like I need 800 Amazon boxes on their front porch for every party.
Yeah.
Because I need decorations and the most crazy costumes.
I need more party chaos, like more fun chaos, like more people falling.
Yes. Yes.
Like never
I need
forget
drunk fights where somebody is fighting over spilled water, like Kyle and Amanda did long time ago.
Never forget Craig and Winterhouse falling down the stairs.
I need drunken debauchery a little bit. I need more girls' night.
Craig to refuse to clean up and that become a I need
the
more.
thing. I need a little bit more messy fighting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, where
they're giving me
it's
good
not
drama.
serious. This can kind of be serious drama. But let's get into it. Okay, so previously on Martha's Vineyard, we had girls' night. Jasmine was lit. Boys' night was less lit. Jasmine burnt breakfast, and Silas was upset. Shanice is back. Alex hates that she's a stalker. I'm sorry.
Every time is my favorite thing that appeared because
I know he's
clearly not planned. Like there's no. Well, I guess producers could have sent it to him, but like the most obscure thing to be brought into this show.
He's like, fuck, she's a stalker. I hate her. Shanice has to talk to Alex. I don't know why, but whatever. But who cares? I'd be like, I'm a stalker. Fuck you.
I would play into it.
Same. I'd be like, hey, Alex, like always outside his door, just to scare.
Oh my, I need that.
Hilarious.
That's what I need.
Simon was in the hot tub with a naked Shanice and Bria is pissed. So Bria's gonna skip Rose brunch and Shanice got naked before the brunch and flashed everyone. So that's where we pick back up.
Ooh.
It's day 11 of 15 at 4:45 p.m. Brunch is a little linner if you ask me, but do whatever. But everyone's confused about why Shanice came out on the patio is topless and said, hey guys, wait for me, and then shook her tits around because it just didn't seem like it was necessary.
No, that's definitely a drunk activity. Like we're starting brunch, so we're probably sober right
and
now.
Jasmine's kind of like, why are you doing that? Like Silas is right here, you know, like what? And this I get. The hot tub, I talked about it last episode. We don't need to get into it. I think that was different. This is like intentional. Like I know they're pissed I did this. So
like you can see how the drunken debauchery happened in the hot tub moment, but now they're like just real life.
They just worked out, eating some protein. They're sitting here and they're like, why is she naked?
And nobody's on our level, you know? Like,
yeah, I don't even think she's on that level. She's
so
whatever.
Weird.
She's here to have Shanice is here to have fun. This is her. Simon, though, I swear, protect this man. He grabs some food. He brings it to Bria in her room. Nice.
I love him.
So nice. He's like, I'm gonna excuse myself. Meanwhile, Shanice is like, I'm so comfortable with no top on in front of the camera.
Oh, she goes about her like the rest of her morning routine, no top on.
Yeah. So then Simon tells Bria what happened, and Bria's like, see, but when it happened to me, everyone turned a blind eye, and now she's showing husband's tits. Like, haha, Karma's a bitch.
Bria cracks me up.
Bria's hilarious. Who would have thought we'd be Bria stands?
I did not expect it.
So brunch is really good. Jordan brings up the thick comment because they're like, cheers to us. And she's like, and being thick, because Alex called her thick. And everyone laughs. And then Simon leaves Bria to go back to brunch because he's trying to be a good guest because that was a big fucking storyline.
That moment where he's like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the group. I'm like,
that was
he's
great.
A good house guest.
Yes, invite him always. So Bria's just emotionally drained. Her and Shanice did talk 3 hours ago, which was not shown, but they squashed the beef.
This shocks me even more that then Shanice did it again.
But like, why not show that they squashed the beef?
I
thought Bria was skipping brunch because she didn't want to see Shanice.
Me too.
But now we find out she's skipping because she's emotionally drained, which is totally fine.
I thought Bria was skipping because she wasn't ready to have the conversation and didn't want to sit at a table with someone
and I was about to be
until
like,
she had the conversation.
I really shat on Bria for being like, well, she didn't go up to Shanice to say why she's mad.
Yes.
She did, producers. What the fuck?
Well, it does kind of seem like there was just like a timing issue, maybe, and like for drama's sake, they like wanted to end with like Shanice being topless.
Whatever, fucking fine.
So I kind of get it a little bit, but this does add context, and to me, this makes Shanice's second topless moment worse.
Way easier, yeah. So Shanice finally makes it to brunch, fully clothed. They asked what that was.
She does look good, by the way. I like her outfit.
Great, she's hot, yeah. They're like, "What was that on the balcony?" And she's like, "I just thought it'd be funny. Like, I'm party Shanice, lighten up."
The way she's making it like everybody else isn't fun because they don't like seeing her topless. I'm not liking this vibe. I like the idea that she's like, I'm here to have fun.
Yeah, but you're like, if a dude kept showing his dick and balls, I'd be like, can you stop?
It just, this isn't the moment. Like last night in the hot tub, okay, haha, yeah. Like we were having fun. This just, it's brunch.
Yeah, if I'm sober at brunch and a dick pops out, I'm gonna be like, pardon, what's happening right now?
It's just not the moment. So don't call me not fun just because that's not my idea of fun.
Agreed. And then she flashes us in her confessional too.
Oh my God, her in the truth booth. I'm like, girlie,
what are we doing?
We are not on the same page.
So then Jasmine asked Shanice if she's talked to Alex yet. And Shanice is like, I'm going to tomorrow, but tonight, like, let's have fun. And then Jasmine's like, I don't know why you don't want to talk to him right here in front of everyone at brunch.
Why do I hate Jasmine so much?
And I was like, Jasmine.
It's annoying because Shanice is like, no, I haven't talked to him, but I will. I just haven't told him I want to talk to him either. And so Jasmine's like, hey, Alex, let's do this now. And Shanice is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So Preston's like, hey, Shanice. Sorry, I watched this a few days ago waiting for Meredith to watch it. So I might not get it 100% right. So correct me. But Preston asked Shanice if she feels that people are unfair to her. And Shanice just says she feels like she gets judged because she always wants to have a good time. And then Jasmine's like, hey, Alex, remember when you Googled her?
Yes. She's like, hey, Alex, let's talk about how you Googled Shanice. And he's like,
and then she's like,
he's in a different conversation. So he's like, wait, what's going on? So he tries to ask some questions and everyone jumps down his throat.
Jasmine is like, Shanice, didn't you say you were upset that Alex didn't just call you directly? And Alex is like, pardon? And then Jordan's like, hey, Jasmine, why don't we shut the fuck up? Because they haven't had time to discuss it. So we as a table should not be discussing it. And this is where Alex is like, what is happening? I have questions. Like, and he's like, everyone's seen the thing about the insecure actor. And Shanice is like, yeah, but that was a year ago. And you're the one that brought it up in the house. So that's where the issue's kind of coming from. And Preston's like, I totally get that. Shanice should be able to move on from her past with the insecure actor.
This conversation is so weird because they're not all coming to the conversation, I'll say equally. Like,
yeah,
Shanice and Jasmine were just discussing it. Alex is like, this is just thrust upon him. And so he's like really confused and asking questions on like, I think what they're all saying.
What's the grounds?
Yeah. And then people like jump on his throat for like being like, why are you asking questions? You should just apologize. And he's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, because then too, so Shanice is very clearly trying to be like, there's just like a thing, but we'll like discuss it. And Jasmine's like, let's discuss it now. And Jordan's like, let's discuss it never. And Preston's like, Shanice deserves the best. And Alex is like, what is happening? So then Alex, he's like, I call bullshit on this conversation because he's like, everyone knows about the insecure actor. Like, why am I the one being blamed? And Shanice is like, fine, but you're the one that brought it up, which I think was like the issue Shanice had of like, not only did he bring it up to the house, but she wasn't there at that point.
And then he even after the fact didn't bring it to her.
And if he had a problem with it, he could have been like, hey, Shanice, this is what I saw about you.
Yeah, because
that's where she's mad. Alex thinks it's because he knows about it.
Yes. And I think the elements are he brought it up to people and is gossiping and he changed his behavior around her. Like, he now thinks she's this bad person, but didn't give her the opportunity to like have a
Explain it.
rebuttal. Yeah. So I don't think she's mad that it like people were discussing it. It's just that people were discussing
No.
it without her having a chance to respond.
Yeah, just like gossiping about it, not discussing it, you know?
Mhm.
Okay, so Simon excuses himself to go to the toilet, which I would also do if I was just a guest visiting in this house. I'd be like, I have to take
especially
a
because
huge
this stuff
shit. I'll
happened
never be back.
before he came. He's like, you guys already kind of hated me before I came. I'm not gonna get into this argument.
He's literally like, I would rather die than be here right now. So goodbye. So Jordan's getting a little heated now because Shanice is her friend. Jordan's not, or Alex isn't getting it. And this is also, I think, angered Jordan because she was like, let's not bring it up. But everyone now is like, we must talk about it. So she gets a little heated at Alex.
I think she also is annoyed with Alex in her own right.
Yeah, because
so
he
yelling
called
at
her
him
thick.
Is therapeutic.
Which like angered her, I think, because he's commenting on her body.
Constantly.
Yeah. So she's like, listen. So she basically says, like, Alex found out this information. He had questions. He didn't bring it up to Shanice. He brought it up to the rest of the house, making it an issue. And like all these girls lived through this shit with Shanice. And now he's bringing it up, not even giving Shanice the chance to like go through it. So that's why Jordan's mad.
Yes.
And Alex keeps interrupting her as she's like trying to get this point across. And she gets really mad then. And she's like, are you going to let me finish? Like, I'm not going to let you interrupt me.
This is
Are
why I
you
feel
gonna
like the
let me
dynamic
finish?
of the conversation, because it started on different footing, is not helping. Like, I don't fault Alex for trying to like get some questions in because he's confused. He's not like trying to like not let her have her moment. I think he's truly confused.
I think he's confused. And I think she's kind of coming to the realization that Alex is irking her. And when someone that irks you is interrupting you, you're like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Yeah. And I think she sees it. We find out later. Jordan sees like these commenting on her bodies and like men trying to overpower her is disrespectful. Yes. So she's like, stop interrupting me. Yeah. So Jordan gets her chance. And then is like, why didn't you just pull Shanice to the side and talk to her about it? Like, why'd you put the spotlight on her in front of everyone? And then Alex looks at her when Shanice is done talking. He goes, are you done? And then Jordan's like, done. Yeah. And Jordan's like mad that he brought that up.
I hate when people who are like, wait till I'm done talking, because then it's like, and they get mad when you ask if they're done. Yeah. And I get why, because in the moment you're so heated that you're like, "Are you serious?" Like, yeah, I would also on anything. But I'm like, he does need to wait till you're done and clarify. I'm both these people in a confrontation. I could be either one of these people. Yes. So I get why Jordan was mad. This is a classic argument moment. Are you done? Are you done? Are you kidding me? Am I done talking? And it's like, well, now you're not. You're not. That was so funny because I saw myself in both of those situations. 100%. Okay, so Alex is confused why Jordan is talking because Jasmine's the one that brought it up. And I'm like, he is so confused. He has no idea what's happening right now. This is where I really was like, oh, I kind of feel bad for him. That he can't win because he will never get the information in this moment. No, yeah. So then the boys are like, yeah, this isn't about Alex because Jasmine brought it up. And Jordan's like, Alex is the one that brought it up in the house. And Summer's like, let me try and help. She says Alex Googled everyone before they got to the house. Semi-insane. And Summer in her, or not confessional, in her interview was like, I just looked at everyone's Instagrams to see what they look like. And Jason is like, that's fine to Google, but if you find something, you should ask that person about it directly. You got to give him a chance. Which is fair. Yeah. But then Nick cuts and he's like, I Googled everyone. Yeah, but Nick isn't like talking poorly about it. I think he's using it as an ground floor. And Nick strikes me as the type of dude that would be like, hey, Shanice, I saw you were a stalker with an That's the thing. Actor. I feel like he would just use it as research, not as gossip, the way Alex kind of has. Yeah, like or the girls Nick uses it on how to like investigate things with the person. Yeah, like he'd be like, I'm not gonna like look at something with Shanice because I found this online and to me that's just not worth it. So in his interview he'd probably be like, I'm not interested in Shanice because well he's probably like, I'm gonna keep an eye on like how she moves about and see like does this track like is but he'd never in the house say that. He would in his confessional be like, I'm wary of Shanice and this is why.
Meanwhile, Alex went to the whole house without Shanice and was like, she's a stalker.
She's crazy.
I hate her because she's a stalker.
And
so
like episode in the first few episodes, he was like hanging out with her, talking to her, and then he like changed up his behavior.
Yeah, they were vibing.
So that's
Alex,
the thing, is you can't like flip flop midway through.
Yeah. So Alex feels like he's being turned into a scapegoat when there are other people in that conversation, because he was talking about it with 5 people, including Bria. But what he doesn't know is girls are sneaky. And when boys are talking about something, Bria's going to know and she's going to tell her friend.
Yes, I don't like that. I mean, everyone was, it's not like Alex was talking to people. It looked like in that conversation, everybody was talking about it. So everybody else should be held to a similar standard of why didn't everybody else express these things to Shanice, but they never will. And why wouldn't, I'm kind of confused why Bria didn't. I mean, we didn't get this whole conversation, so maybe she did, but why didn't Bria be like, oh, that shit's BS?
I think it was probably late at night. It looked late at night. And this was also a different angle than we got, and like a different conversation that we got in a previous episode. So I don't know, but it didn't seem like anything bad was being brought up in this episode, or in the flashback we saw here. So I feel like Bria was just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But when we saw it previously, Alex was like, she stalked him.
The one in that like sunroom.
What had originally happened. When Bria, in the study room.
Quote unquote cameras were down.
Yes. This cameras were clear and it was in the kitchen. So this is a separate conversation.
Yes. So I think that's the initial conversation. And maybe that's another thing they like are confused on between the two parties is Alex is talking about this kitchen conversation, whereas like everybody else is talking about the sunroom cameras down conversation.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Because Alex probably thinks cameras were down, that like they don't.
Hilarious, bitch. Cameras are always running. Anyway, so Alex is upset because Jordan's turning him into the villain. So he excuses himself because this conversation no longer feels safe. And Shanice is like,
that. Sometimes it feels like the whole table's getting up on you, and you like, can never get a footing in an argument that way.
But this angers Shanice because she's like, now he's the victim. You know, like he's.
I don't like that mentality of like, if somebody wants to step away from a conversation, you just gotta let them protect their peace a little bit.
I agree that I'm the type of person that's not going to step away and then I'm going to yell and say something.
That's the thing. I would be mad when somebody steps away, but from a higher level,
I get it. Again, I am every person in this at some point in my life.
100%, because I can also see all the confusion and where people are going. Like,
yeah, so I don't blame anyone, because trust me, if I'm fighting with some dude and he's like, I'm gonna excuse myself because this no longer feels safe, I'd be like, fuck you. But then if I'm the person that's like, I'm gonna step away, I'd be like, I'm being such an adult right now. And people would be like, fuck you. And I'd be like, I'm being an adult.
I'm not going to let myself be steamrolled and bullied at this table right now.
Yeah. So I am myself. I am everyone here.
I am everyone. But I am the right whenever I'm in whatever position.
In the situation, I'm always right. Yeah,
I'm always
for sure.
Right.
So now it's 5:50 p.m. Alex just left Rose brunch. Shanice says she didn't even want to bring it up at dinner. Jasmine. Okay. Jasmine. And Silas says he doesn't want it to be like Alex bringing this up, and Jordan's like, why don't you care about Shanice? Why do you care about Alex? Like, it's her story to tell. And the boys start saying like, sure, but like that's what we're saying, kind of. And Summer's like, look, Summer, who just got here, she's like, look,
Summer sees it.
She's like, Alex brought it up and that's why the girls are mad. Can we like get it?
But Alex is not a terrible person.
No, like he just brought it up. Yeah. Yes. So Preston says he only knew that Shanice was a stalker because Alex brought it up. And then he's like, also, Alex was not affected by this. Only Shanice was. And Jason's like, sure, but like, I wish Alex wasn't the villain in this situation. But Preston's the one now that's like Alex's villain. I'm like, what? Who are you?
I know. They're like, how about we let Alex come back to the table and tell him like he made a mistake, but this isn't the end of the world. And I'm like, okay, now this is becoming way too serious.
This was hilarious. So Alex comes back and Jason's like, hello, Alex, you are not villainized. And Alex is like, I don't even know what I did. I love when men coddle other men. It's like, Alex, you are not the villain. Okay. We love you. And Alex is like, I don't even know what I did. And Amir chimes in and says like, Alex, we love you. And Jordan's like, no, 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 stop. And Shanice is like, look, I was going to do this at a different time. Thank you, everyone, for stepping in,
Oh my gosh.
Jasmine. And she's like, Alex, I didn't want you to get defensive. This is why I didn't bring it up in front of a whole fucking group.
Yes.
And Alex is like, I understand. I just don't want to be the bad guy. And Shanice is like, you're not. Just any issues, bring
Let's
to
move
me.
on.
And that's it. We all cheers. Okay, so now some people are playing pool. Amir's really good and says he picked it up to impress girls in college. Haha. And then
Well,
he does
didn't he also grow up in the great state of Austin?
Austin, yes. Texas Austin.
So I feel like two-stepping is just much more common.
Oh yeah, no, well, he picked up the pool and then he starts
Oh.
to two-step. He picked up pool to impress girls and then he starts two-stepping.
In college, never played pool.
I played once to try and impress a guy. We were flirting and he was like, hey, do you want to be on my pool team? And I was like, yeah. And then I suck at pool. And he was like,
That's the thing, is I won't do things unless I'm good at them, especially if
I was drunk enough where I was like,
you had
oh, no,
confidence.
because I naturally am really bad at pool.
Mhm.
So I knew this and I was like, oh my God, I'm so bad. Can you show me how to pool?
Nice.
It doesn't work. Listen, if this was baseball, I would have been like, get off me. I know how to swing a bat. But it was this that I was like, I know I'm bad. And I just want to get in this dude's bed tonight. That I was like, hey,
Hi.
help. But he was mad. He's like, you said you knew how to play pool. I was like, I know the rules. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. He's like, oh my God.
That's a good line.
I know the rules.
I know the rules.
Okay, so Shanice is like, hey, show us a two-step. And he and Shanice do a little dance. And then they, oh wait, is this Shanice or Summer? Did I get the name
It's
wrong?
Shanice. It's Shanice.
Okay, good. So then they waltz. Shanice is really bad at waltzing, but she's like, I'd be better with the music. And that's when Preston's like, oh my God, that's what people with no rhythm say. I agree.
I agree too.
And then she falls and it's a fun little scene. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Simon tells Bria the drama with Alex and Shanice. And then Alex is giving Nick a haircut and everyone's gathered in the living room. And Jordan is laying on, Preston. They're like cuddling. And Alex makes a joke and he's like, hey, Preston, there's a rumor that you and Jordan have been sleeping together. And that just doesn't match what Jordan says about her celibacy. And Preston's like, excuse me, please don't question my wife's celibacy. So they like giggle. I think Preston handled this really well.
Me too.
Because it was like kind of a low blow. You could have just been like, and that doesn't add up because you're gay, instead he's like, your celibacy.
That's
like,
the thing, is he goes after a touchy thing, not just like, it's not just a joke, like every joke's rooted in truth in a sense, but like, or it's just like stupid little banter. Like if he would have made it about like Preston being gay, like, oh, like clearly you turned just for Jordan,
Yeah.
I don't think this would have I think it would have upset her because it just is slowly stacking up about her like sexuality.
The other thing I kind of realized was he's going after Jordan without talking to Jordan. So he's like, hey, Preston, I heard you're doing this. And then he attacks Jordan instead of being like, hey, Jordan, I heard you're doing this, but you're supposed to be celibate. Like, would you like, so it doesn't give Jordan like the chance to be like, why are you coming at me? You didn't even invite me into this conversation.
Talking about me
with something kind of personal, right? Like she openly shared with everyone, but it's not, it's her belief
everyone
that she's
has
in right now.
A sensitive spot. And I think Jordan's celibacy, because she doesn't really talk about the reason behind, well, she did at like that brunch, the girls brunch, but the guys don't really know like the reason behind it or like how important it is to her. And like, I don't think we'll ever really see it. It's a sensitive thing for her. And she like wants her friends to like hold it with care because she has so much like reasoning behind it and like in it. And then it slowly is building the pressure on like Alex is constantly, you can tell, making comments. And it seems, I mean, that's the only thing we're really getting from him and Jordan is these comments either about her body, her sexuality.
That's the thing, is he just called her thick. He's like,
it's like the pressure's building and she is clearly erupting in this moment. It's sometimes too much. And that one person, like constantly, there's always someone who's going to grate on you. And it's like, they're always going to have little pings of annoyance. And his are just, I think, way too close together. He's not spacing out his annoyance with her, which he doesn't know.
Agreed. Yeah. So he says this. I think Preston tries to handle it really well, but Jordan gets mad immediately, saying that, you know, she doesn't come for his veganness or sobriety, but he's coming at something.
Which that's a really good comparison.
That's a good point, because if she was like, "Oh, you stupid vegan," he'd be like, "You're disrespecting my beliefs."
Yes, I think that was a good link for her to make, because I hope he sees like what that is to her.
Also, she's like, you're sitting here being like, "Oh, I'm sober, I'm sober," and she's like, "But you've drank. I haven't had dick around."
And she's saying like, "I'm not judging you. I'm not bringing it up."
Yeah, I'm not judging you, but if you're gonna come for me for something that I believe in, I'm gonna come at you for something you supposedly believe in too.
And don't even like act on. I'm
fuck you.
actively doing it.
Which I agree, because it is something when you make a choice for yourself, right? It's something similar of being like, "I'm not drinking," even if you're just like, "I'm not drinking tonight." All friends will be like, "What the fuck? What's wrong?" And it's like, stop doing that. But Jordan's sitting here and but you'd be so mad if it happened to you. Like, all your friends would be mad if you shit on them.
Just because I like to make fun of people as my personality, I think everything's open to like one or two jokes, you know, you just got to like roll with the punches on things. But
yeah, I think
at a certain point, like, come on, like this is a cheap
certain
shot.
things. You know, certain things. Celibacy is usually not great. Vegan, you could kind of be like,
well, I'm just saying, like, one little comment
you
here
haven't
or
eaten
there,
anything
like,
good, yeah.
Like you're like, "Oh, can't have that." You know, like the little comments are gonna
Yeah.
always happen with everything. Like we're all stupid and go for cheap shots, but I just think everybody
this was unnecessary.
Yeah,
This
it
was
just
unneeded.
it's constant, and this is
Especially
a 2-week period.
Yeah, especially from this dude that constantly is bringing up her looks, her body, her what, like, she's like, "Can you fucking stop?" Truthfully.
And then on the flip side is like making Shanice's like stalking thing an issue. It's like, why are you so obsessed with me?
Yeah, like just like cut it out. So Alex says he's just messing, and Jordan's like, "It's fine, but like don't come for my shit and make it a joke and expect your shit to be respected."
Yes.
And it's true. There's a difference between being like, "Jordan, you look fucking tired today. Like, should you shower?" versus like, "Jordan, your celibacy." There's like a belief and like something you can mess with someone about.
Like he could have made fun of her for being like tired. Like Preston was making fun of her saying like about her saying she could stay up late as she's like passed out on him. Like,
yeah.
There
Also,
are so many things if you're like the jokester that you can like do like to find jokes
you know
for. It's
how to
really
bring it
not
up
hard.
though. Alex is not, I would never define him as a jokester.
No, but I think he's trying to always like say, I think he does it out of awkwardness. Like he doesn't know what to say, so he like just says something.
He's that dude that can give it but can't take it. He's that guy. Because you know too, if she was like, "Ugh, Alex is going to fucking meditate, you stupid bit," he would be like, "That's
when they were joking about like later in the episode, they joke about him being like Black Jesus out there. And like if he heard stuff like that, like
pissed.
when they were making fun of him doing like yoga meditation, yeah, he would totally be pissed.
Yeah, he'd be fucking pissed. So yeah. Okay, yeah. So Jordan has been like, "Don't come for my shit when your shit is respected." And she's tired of Alex playing her like she's bit like she's a sexual creature out here, and she feels super like sexualized by Alex. And he told her at tennis too that she wasn't playing sexy enough. Right? He was like, "I need more moaning."
So gross.
That was so weird. I would be like, "I'm never moaning in front of you, even in tennis."
It is just constantly and in so many different ways.
That's a creepy comment, no matter how close you are to someone. No matter if even my closest gay guy friend was like, "You're not playing sexy enough," I'd be like, gross. And there's an easier way to be like, "Hey, why aren't you moaning?" I'd be like, haha,
because like if somebody wanted to make the moaning joke, they would make it as a group. Like, man, this is like super sexual.
Like, who can moan the loudest?
Yeah, like wow, tennis is really like sex. There's just like a lot of moaning. Like you would make it a generic thing, but it's the targeting it always to her,
to the women, to Jordan. And then
this is what I don't think a lot of guys understand is
don't point us out.
I think sometimes they think they're making general jokes, and it's like, no, you are making them or like comments directed towards me or women. Yes. And that's where the like feminism thing is so key, because guys don't realize like you can still make these jokes. It's not the topics that are off limit. It's how you go about it and move in this space.
Agreed. Because then too, right, like right the same day, he then goes as Jordan, you look thick. Which like don't comment on my body, whether it's good, bad, don't be like, right? It's that thing now we're learning. Don't like praise girls for looking really skinny, right? Don't praise women
Yes.
for that either, because that could also be a trigger. Like, just don't comment on women's body
I mean,
unless
you
you
could say
just say
something
you
looks
look great.
great
You look
today.
great.
Yeah.
Don't pinpoint it. So he's here like, you look thick, bitch. And she's like, what the hell?
Because
And
you don't know how
now,
that's going to be received.
and then also this was awkward, we agreed, because it didn't land. But when they were blowing up the floaty, he made like an awkward blow joke. And she was like,
Yeah.
what? So he's been doing this. And Jordan's like, look, I don't play about my celibacy. I went through a lot. And like, I'm trying not to be seen as a sexual being. I'm trying to be seen as a person. And she starts to get really emotional. She doesn't appreciate this. Amir tries to chime in and says, he doesn't think that. And then Jordan's like, no, don't tell me what you think he thinks or whatever. Like, you're done too. Just don't defend the man in this situation.
Which Amir walked in after the original comments. So I think he's like,
Nick
I think
rightfully stayed fucking silent because he was there the whole time.
Yes, I think Summer was sitting on the other side of Preston and was like, he wasn't here. He doesn't know what's going on. Like, just stop talking, Amir.
But if you don't know, just shut the fuck, just shut up.
Yes.
And so Jordan says Alex has said this like this kind of stuff earlier, and like, because he did at the rose brunch, Alex said that Amir, how did he put it, made claim on Jordan or something like that. So Jordan is now pissed with Amir because she has heard, this isn't, I don't think how it happened, but she heard like, you fucking claimed me. So
now
no,
she's
no
being
other
like
guy,
property in the, like in backroom discussions.
no other man can talk to me because you've claimed me. Like, and now Alex didn't get to know me, you know, like, so you're blocking me from what I might want.
That's such a cheap shot for Alex to even like basically put it like that, because I think what Jordan's upset about is like the guys won't even talk to her as a friend, because like, this is what I think what's in her mind is they won't even like talk to her as a friend because they don't want Amir on
to get the wrong idea. Yeah.
To be upset because he laid claim. And it's like, Alex, no matter what, like, you shouldn't be dictated by somebody being interested in them. Like, you should still be able to be friends with a girl.
Yeah.
Even if he did say dibs and there's this
and
weird
like,
broco, like,
I
why
think
can't
it's
you move
really
about like friends?
It was really shitty the way Alex was like, I haven't gotten to get to know you, Jordan, because Amir dibbed you. Like, the way he said it was super shitty that even Jordan was like, pardon? I'm not like, you can't just claim me.
Yeah. And I felt like Alex was putting the blame on Amir for not being friends with Jordan.
Yes, he was. That is exactly what he was doing. Right after he commented on Jordan's thickness. Like, this man is so goddamn fucking clueless. Okay, so Jordan then says that she feels like Amir pissed on the tree. She was the tree, and no one asked her how she felt, which was true. No one was like, Jordan, are you interested in Amir? It was just like, hey, Amir likes you. And she's like, great.
I think like other people, I don't think Amir was doing
Amir
this though.
Never said, Jordan, I like you.
Well, to him or to her, yes, I think that's his problem. But other people were putting this pressure on Jordan about Amir that he didn't really start.
Amir? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, honestly.
Like, I think he's like trying to play it cool and feel it out like a normal person does. You don't just
but
walk up to the person you like and say,
hey,
I like you. Like, I'm really interested.
Alex fucked it up too, being like, yo, he called dibs. And Jordan's like, what the fuck?
Again, it's been 2 weeks. It's not like normal summer house where it's like 3 months or like a few months.
This has been 11 days.
You should be telling someone you like them. No, this is too soon to tell someone you like them.
So Amir says he was just interested in Jordan, and then Nick and Silas come in and they're like, what's the issue?
Oh God.
What's going on? And Jordan says she really like loses it. She says she's tired of men sexualizing her and labeling her as a party girl and her not having a say in any of it. Yeah. And now she's like sobbing how no one cares about who she is and she's tired, which is also true because Silas was the one that's like, Jordan takes Jasmine out to party on these streets all the time. And Jordan's like, what the fuck? You don't know me.
They've never been able to like just treat her as a normal person, whether that's get to know her or just like have non-party, non-sexual comments? Like, why
Just
can't you
ins-
just be like, hey, how was your day? And like have a normal conversation.
Yeah, tell me about yourself. How was working at Playboy instead of being like, I bet you sexed it up at Playboy. Like, she's like, what? And
Yeah.
so, yeah, Bria and Jasmine and Summer hear from the other room, and you hear Summer or Jasmine go, "Excuse me, that's my friend crying." And I'm like, "You're a bad friend. Don't help."
Well,
Don't
I'm like, wow, this is the first time Jasmine like shows some like
cares.
decent friend qualities.
So Jordan just says she wants some of the respect that she gives every other person. So now it's 9:43 p.m. Jordan's really upset. She feels like her shit is joked about and she's not respected. Jordan does bring up that people don't even talk to her as if they're attracted to her. And she ends up with no one on her side. Wait, what? Did I miss that? I don't know.
I
That's what
think
she
it's just
says.
that like no one's talking to her except about attraction to her.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And so now when the tables are turned, no one actually knows her and they can't be on her side. You're right. You're right.
and like nobody in that conversation is like backing her up in a sense. Everybody's just listening. Like,
Listening.
I think people are learning from the like Alex blow up. And so they're trying not to get involved and like let Jordan speak, because remember, she was like, you're interrupting me. So
Yeah.
nobody's speaking, but then it feels like she has no one in her corner.
Because Amir did try to stick up for Alex too. So it's like, oh my God, is no one gonna just fucking.
And
so
like
Nick,
sometimes whenever you're like so heated, you want someone to just like rub your back and be like, are you okay? But because they're talking about sexualized things, sometimes it feels like I shouldn't touch you right now.
It should
like,
be a woman or Preston that rubs her back at this
even
point.
Preston, I feel like she needs Jasmine to be like behind her, holding her, being like, yes, just saying little words, not like actually adding to the conversation.
Woman. So Nick says, okay, great. These conversations are fun. We talk shit. But Jordan is more than that. And Amir gets really angry and walks off. And Bria then is like, if you Google Jordan, sure, you find like naked photos of her and people sexualize her, but like that's not who Jordan is. Like that was a job. That was like something she did to get paid.
And she
because
probably
she
gets
is
this
hot.
so much on the like, I hate to say outside world, but in just normal day life, that when you're living with people, you would hope that it would be different because you have the time and
she's
energy.
not walking around in a Playboy outfit. So like don't think of her as this Playboy bunny. So Alex says he wants Jordan to know that they see her even when they're joking. It's all love. I'm like, whatever. So then the producer asked Jordan if it's solely about Alex and Amir, or is it deeper? And Jordan says her breakdown's a combination of things. She's frustrated with everyone. And she deals with it all the time. And now it's just like coming up and spilling over.
Yeah. I think with most people's breakdowns, it's like you just get to a point in general where
this hit me. I'm done.
Yes. And
which is why I think too, she was like, hey Alex, you called me thick, you commented on my moaning, you made this bloat. Like she was like, all these things really built up and you really sent me over at this point. You told me Amir called dibs and now you're like, and now I'm pissed because you brought up my celibacy.
It all comes up and out to the surface. And that's why I think Amir feels like probably like he's being attacked when he's like, whoa, I just said I was interested. That
it was presented to Jordan badly by Alex.
Yes. And I totally get him here being like, I'm not being a part of this conversation. Like,
I get it too. So he goes outside, he calls his friend Brandon. He's upset that he got ripped in a new ass in front of the house because he's interested in a woman. He hasn't done anything on a line and he had to take a walk to get away. And Brandon's literally like, don't you have like 48 hours left? Like, fuck them, who cares?
This is like angers me a lot whenever guys are like, God, like I just had to sit there and take it. And it's like, well, I have to sit there and take your comments all the time.
Literally all the time.
So I think, while I think like the discussion is unfair, like you can take a beat and then have a conversation with Jordan to clear the air.
Also, he didn't care to ask like, hey, why are you mad at me? To hear Jordan say, Alex said you called claim on me, because that's where Jordan's mad with Amir. But Amir, it just is like, I was interested and that's offensive.
Amir is centering himself now in this
the drama
argument
when
and being
it's
like,
Jordan just being sad. Like, I think Alex handled this the end better when he was like, Jordan, I just sat through this and I see you, I hear you, like it's all love. Where Amir was like, I'm mad boy.
He's like, wow, I just got attacked. Also, I didn't deserve anything. And it's
I love his friend being like, who cares? And Amir's like, you're right, I feel better now. And I was like, what?
I
None of
watched that
those-
conversation. I was like, I hope to God,
If I
like 10
call
minutes
you,
of conversation got cut out of that, because if I call you and you did
if I
that to
call you
me,
sobbing and you go, no worries, I'd be like, what?
I'd be pissed. No.
So Amir has come to an understanding that he doesn't have a chance with Jordan, and now he's questioning if he's good enough. And I'm like,
This made
sir,
me
this went wild.
this actually made me so sad, and I was like, whoa, we
Where
really
did this come
jumped.
from? I'm
Like,
literally like, what?
you two need a one-on-one conversation, Jordan and Amir, because Jordan does not want to be with you, but Amir, you have never had a conversation that has given you this information.
You've never presented to her, I would like to be with you. And she has never had the
Yeah.
chance to say no thanks. And if she says no thanks, that doesn't mean you're not worthy. Like, I was like, what is
The
happening?
jumps that are happening here. I also
Jordan doesn't want to be
realized,
with anyone. Like, it's not you, it's in general.
yeah, well,
That's
this group, I feel like, doesn't do a lot of like one-on-one things. And I think that's part of Jordan's problem, is like nobody's getting to know her, because nobody's spending that little like quality time, like asking those like little deep questions where you can like slowly open up to people.
Mhm.
And so that's part of Amir's problem too. Like, why when yeah, they did that stupid little kayak thing like 10 days ago, but there hasn't been like a hey, like let's go for a walk.
I do think so. I see it, you know how Amir has to escape the sex. He does go to Jordan and Shanice's room,
Oh,
and
that's
I
true.
catch him sometimes on the bed, like just talking, which I
Yeah.
think is great. But also, men and women are so different. Men immediately know what they want out of a woman, basically. Like they're like, I want to fuck her. I want to date her. I want to just be friends with her. They can kind of figure that out. Women are different. I like a slow burn. I like a friends to lovers. I like getting to know you completely and then being like, how are
That's
my
so
feelings
I
for you?
have
It's
slowly been
different.
learning in the last year. I think I operate more like a guy.
Oh,
I
I don't. I am a
immediately know what
woman.
I want.
I'm
I
a woman.
don't, it'll never change for me
Me,
too.
I'm a woman. I can fall in love with you after like 10 years of friendship and be like,
No.
I'm in.
No.
But that being said, I think Jordan operates similarly, where she's like, if Amir wants to hang out and get to know me, I would like it to be slow. And Amir's like, we got 14 days to fall in love. And I'm
Yeah.
like, sir, sir, it's very different,
He knew
especially
immediately.
someone
She
who's
just wants to
been
have a
out
good
of the game.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially someone who's not looking for anything. It could be a secret love if Amir would just
That's
like give
another
it
thing,
that.
is when you haven't like slept with someone in a while, like you're not just gonna like jump in. Even if like Jordan does like Amir, she's not just gonna jump in and bang him in five
Yeah.
seconds. Like, it is honestly gonna take more time to build up to that, because it's been so long.
Yeah, you should go on Real Summer House where it's 3 months. You might actually get like a kiss on the cheek, but this is
A kiss
you
in the
gotta calm.
pantry.
You gotta calm down. That might be a little intense, even the pantry. I don't know. So everyone's getting ready for the night. Summer and Nick play a little pool. Amir joins to watch. Summer's really good. She destroys Nick, no questions. Alex does come up to Amir and he's like, yo, I don't feel good about like what happened. I'm sorry. Like we just triggered Jordan. I was trying to be funny. And Amir's like, no worries, whatever.
I appreciate Alex
I
basically
do
taking
too.
the blame for all of this,
Yeah.
because it is his fault.
So then
All
Silas,
of it.
Alex, all of it. Silas, Alex, and Jordan are in the kitchen. Silas tells Jordan that her and Amir need to talk, and Jordan's like, I did talk a lot tonight.
This
Like
is
I'm a little
weird because
tired.
Amir is sitting on the couch.
Yeah. That's the other thing is like Amir's in the living room,
Amir's
and
right there.
Silas is like, hey, Jordan, you should talk to Amir. And Jordan's like, I don't know. I'm like kind of exhausted. And Silas is like, when a guy really likes you and he's never objectified you, you really need to talk to them. And Amir's like, hey, it's me. And he's like, I understand like what's happening. Let's both be heard in this moment. And so Jordan's like, why'd you walk away? And Amir's like, look, I never meant to objectify you. It was never my intention. This was a really nice conversation. They figured it
Yes.
out. Jordan says, like, look, you might not have personally tried or purposely tried to objectify me, but like I feel like it. So your apology means a lot. And Amir does say, like, he's so
I feel like
sorry.
Amir's the best guy in this group, and then
He
he's
is.
just surrounded. Jason's really great too, but Jason's just not really active. I feel like Amir's just surrounded by shitty people, so then it just like
Yeah.
it rubs off.
I also look, I think Nick, though shitty, he has a good outlook on women, which I
He has a lot of
appreciate.
respect in his actions and words towards people.
And I like that he's clearly like an ally to women, whereas
Yes.
Silas is not, and Alex is kind of teetering because he loves to objectify. Nick would never, I think, objectify. I think
No.
his upbringing, well,
he
he was in the DMs.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Nick's the
Here's
middle.
the thing. When people, when a woman is upset, I think he hears them and he's like willing to have he can have the conversation.
I think he's a fuck boy that grew up in a good environment and has a good outlook on women.
And if somebody told him like, hey, this upsets me, he would stop immediately, I believe.
Yes. Which no one was like, Nick, your DMs upset us. So
that's the thing. Yes. Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, so Amir, though, I think is like a crown jewel. He really just says he wants to protect Jordan. They hug. Jordan does that little like whatever, and Amir's like, give me a real hug.
I loved that.
And yeah, I'm glad Amir isn't mad that Jordan doesn't like him, because I think that's ridiculous to be like, I'm mad at this person.
And I don't think he would. I think he's like frustrated because he like wants it, but he's not like mad at her. I think he's frustrated that like, oh, I didn't like pan out.
Yeah, he's just like, damn, rejection,
Yeah.
So it's 12
rejection.
It's 12:55 a.m. House is in bed. Jasmine is feeling insecure at the way Jordan brought the house together, and she couldn't do that.
I want to punch Jasmine in the fucking face.
Hey, you are not a girl's girl.
I had to rewind that because I was like, did I miss something?
That was so rude. Jordan would not want to have brought the house together like that.
I thought I missed something because I thought maybe she was talking about the like earlier discussion at the brunch. Because I was like, there is no way she just said like Jordan crying about being sexualized brought the whole house together, and I'm mad that I didn't get to do that.
Yeah, I should.
But that is.
She's like, I tried to talk about, being married and stuff, but that didn't really work. And I'm like, because you're not in a house of married people. And also to single people, when you're like, woe is me, I'm so loved. Fuck.
It's like, man, my marriage is so hard. It's like, the only thing single people think is, wow, I'm so fucking happy I'm not married.
I'm not gonna get into marriage, I guess.
So I'm not gonna open my mouth and say that because that's rude.
Plus, Jasmine's the type of person, if she opens up about her marriage being hard and everyone's like, fuck Silas, she's gonna go back to Silas and be like, guess what my friend said.
That's what I have a hard time with people who are married, is I can't complain, or I can't join the bandwagon of your woes, because you're not gonna ditch your husband.
No. I'm not gonna be like, men suck, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I agree. You're gonna be like, except my husband. I'm gonna be like, no, your husband probably sucks too.
Yeah, like I can't bond with you over this hate. Other hates, like hating the same person, friend, we can bond over so easily.
Jasmine's fucking jealous that Jordan had to go through that tonight. But this is where Amir and Jordan are talking in bed, right? They're talking. I think they're going to be really great friends. And I think later it might be able to pan out. But right now they just need to be good friends. But Nick comes in and he's like, hey, you guys want to fuck with Preston? And Amir's like, in. So they basically just go to Preston's room and start pulling the covers off of him. And he wakes up immediately and he's like, y'all suck. Stop.
This is the banter I love about people living in the same house.
Agree. It was
more
hilarious.
Shenanigans, please.
This is hilarious. I love Nick being like, should we do this? And Amir's like, don't.
Hell yeah.
Say less. Okay, so now it's day 12, 10:07 a.m. The house is waking up. Milo farts on Simon, but Simon's like, that's so cute. May I take Milo for a walk? And I was like, I'm obsessed with Simon.
I love Simon so much.
I do too. So Silas is upset because his pants are stained. This is the new. I want to lose my mind. So the stain is from the iron, and Jasmine was like, look, I was going to look for a Tide to Go pen. And Silas is like, I'm upset. Also, where's my credit card that you took? And he goes, also, my pants didn't need to be ironed, but you fucking ironed them anyway.
I kept saying I didn't want any of it ironed, and then you just had to go and iron it.
You did it and took my credit card in the process.
And then she's like, okay, fine, I won't iron it. And he's like, well, now you have to.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, Jasmine just leaves. She's like, fine, goodbye. And Jasmine's like, there's a pattern of like not checking in with each other. We just argue, and then the arguments get worse over and over again.
Yeah, they do not do a good job about resolving arguments.
They just move on. They're just like, we're done. We're done arguing.
I mean, I'm not married.
Because we had sex. Yeah.
Through my therapy, I've learned that that's not healthy. Everybody recovers differently.
But Meredith, they have loud sex. That might solve it, you know?
I actually saw on fucking TikTok is the news, but is his name Jay Shetty?
I don't know who that is.
You're not on therapy TikTok like me. He said that a lot of people have sex after arguments and it provides you the endorphins to quote unquote get over it in the moment. So you feel over it.
Yeah.
But then you realize when all that goes away, you're not over it, but you felt like it in the moment, that you kind of have to just like be over it.
That's awesome. I'm not the type of person that has mad sex. I'll be like, I'm too mad at you. I don't want you to
I
feel
will not
pleasure.
even look you in the eyes.
I don't
when I'm
want you
mad
to
at
feel any kind of fucking
Same.
pleasure.
So like, you're not even gonna get within 5 feet of me if I'm mad.
You're probably gonna sleep in a different area than me because I'm mad.
I'm gonna sleep in a different area because I'm that mad.
I'm getting a hotel on your credit card because I'm mad.
Yes.
So then Preston calls his partner Donald. Why is this the first we're hearing of Donald? But okay.
I'm so angry in the
I know.
beginning of this show that they really didn't like set the scene.
They didn't tell me about Donald. So they've been together for 2.5 years. That's basically 10 years in gay years. And he tells him about the soul food dinner and that they're hosting a pride party. Preston's so excited to host pride party because here no one else is gay, so it's his party.
I'm so excited about this. This whole day, I'm like, yes.
Yes. So Preston goes to the grocery store. Jasmine and Summer check in with Jordan. Jordan's feeling better. She had a really good talk with Amir. Jordan thinks that, you know, there are a lot of things that she wishes like weren't an issue, but we're getting through it. It's fine. So then Alex calls his brother Al. They bond over music.
Which, can we talk about that really quick? Yeah. Alex and Al, how do you have those two names as brothers?
I don't even want to think about it. If Al becomes a character in the next episode, I don't know his name. We have to call him something else. He will be Alex's brother.
I just need to know their full names because my brain broke when I saw that.
Yeah. So Alex wants to share his experience with music in the Vineyard. So they talk about the music they're going to perform. We find out Alex and Nick have come together to create Lux on the Bluffs as the finale for the Vineyard.
I'm so excited for this.
I'm excited to see what this is.
I don't get it. Wait, because they were talking about how there's going to be like hours of music.
I have no idea what this is, and I'm not even going to try and pretend to guess. So I'm excited. Jasmine is trying to cook in the kitchen, and Preston's like, "Can you get the fuck out? This is my pride party." So it's 4:13. Preston's like, "I'm cooking forever." He cooks. It's now 7:24.
Wait, the best is that I forget who asked, but somebody's like, "What time's dinner going to be?" I think it was Nick, and they were like, Preston's like 7:30, and Nick in his interview is like, "It will not be 7:30.
It will be 9." Yeah. So everything's being set at 7:24. Jordan calls her dad, tells him that she had a mental breakdown, and he's like, "You cuss anyone out?" And she's like, "No, but I did cry. And there's a guy that expressed interest in me and made everyone else not want to get to know me."
Which
so that upset me.
He didn't make everybody up. That's what I don't like.
That's how Alex presented it. I know. It's Alex.
Saying,
Alex is the problem.
I hate people.
So her dad's basically like what Amir's friend said yesterday, like, "Don't even worry about it." And Jordan tells us that she's a daddy's girl. Their relationship has changed a lot since she lost her mother at 16, so they're really close. And these are the things we should learn about Jordan.
100%. I feel like the time is not on our side because this is an 8 episode show that we just don't have the time, and that's sad. If you
give us less Silas and more Jordan, I would like really appreciate that. Because
honestly,
I do not give a fuck about his military background.
I don't care about Silas and Jasmine fucking. I want these conversations.
Yeah, just put in quotes, "Here's Jasmine and Silas fucking." I'll get it. So Jasmine says with soul food, there's a clear pattern of getting the cheapest thing. And Amir's like, "Hey, is that real? I don't know the history." And Jasmine's like, "Yeah, it comes from slavery." So basically what would happen is the family would, you know, the family that owned the slaves would get the food.
And really quick, even once like slavery ended and they're like the servants of the household, this is also traps. So the family would, you know, get the food prepared for them. The servants and the slaves would prepare it. And then whatever was left was then given to the slaves and servants, and it was scraps. But, you know, the slaves and servants made this a delicacy. So that's the soul in soul food, is putting your heart into nothing to make something. Which I also didn't know. I work for in the food service kind of like industry, and during the pandemic we spent well, not the company as a whole, but you could join this like kind of like lunch and learn type thing, and like once a month we would talk about the history of food. And I learned some of this stuff about Southern cooking, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I wish like this stuff continued, obviously during the like cultural revolution we were going through in
Yeah.
2020, like people, were open to learning and like reading things, and it just, I don't know, was a top priority, and it's sad that it's still not, but I thoroughly enjoyed the most learning about soul food.
This was great. I knew none of this, and neither did Amir. So twinsies.
I'm telling you, the narrative or like the thing they set up here, I don't know if they meant to, but Amir learning about his
was
own
a great
culture,
way for like, because Bravo is mostly
not
white
good at
viewers,
this.
probably.
Yeah.
So this was nice to be like, okay, there's someone that the white viewers can kind of see through to like
Yeah.
to learn more.
Yeah. And it's normal. I'll call it normal and natural the way it's like unfolding. And
Yeah,
so
it's not like let's do a history lesson for Bravo. It's like,
yes, and
oh,
so the
Amir asked the
people
question.
who are so anti seeking this information out themselves, I feel like actually are like absorbing it and probably interested in it, because they probably don't feel like it's quote unquote forced on them and like so woke and like
Agreed.
whatever these buzzwords we're going to use nowadays. But I love it. It truly feels like a story time every time. Like Jasmine, I feel like is usually the one like sharing this information every time. Jasmine like tells this, whether it's in an interview or like with Amir. Yeah, I love
nice.
this.
So everyone gets ready for dinner. Nick calls his girlfriend. She's in Africa, so she has 20 hours of traveling ahead of her, and he misses her and hopes that she'll come to the vineyard.
Wait, this makes a little bit more sense why like the girlfriend
She's
wasn't
not
like
here.
featured, I would say,
Yeah, she's in
because
Africa.
they're on totally different time schedules.
Yeah. So it's dinner time. Silas calls Simon Rick Ross because Simon's dripping.
I
love how Simon did like a little turn too. He's like, yeah.
I love the dynamic of Simon.
Same.
Like another thing they've excelled at naturally.
So it's 8:52. Dinner is served. Jason's gonna bless the food because it's a tradition in Big Mama's house, and Preston is Big Mama. So the food looks really good. Amir fried the chicken for the first time. He's very proud of his cooking skills. Now it's time to have fun at Pride. Preston setting up the Pride decorations. Summer's making the punch, and she basically pours a whole fifth into it. And it is shot o'clock. So Preston gives us a little Pride history. So Pride started as a riot in 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, in New York City. So then we cheers to love. Great. I love a history lesson. So Preston thought it would be fun, and so do I, to make the straight men take 5 minutes and do a dance routine. And I'm so happy that the straight men were like, yes, let's do it. Let's go.
This is the moment I realized their parties have been lackluster in my opinion, because this was giving everything.
And I appreciate like a man who could be like, let's be stupid, let's do it, hell yeah. They choreograph a whole fucking dance.
Well, they get 5 minutes, and I'm like, wow, I could never.
They did it. So they're supposed to be big time crush, but Preston's like, and now I welcome one time crush. And so the dance is so fun. They each do their little like solo part. So Silas is really horrible. Simon does a great job. He really puts his back into it. Amir gets on the table, starts humping. Alex offers his balls to the women, as in pool balls.
Again, why do we have like we're dancing, but why do you have to bring them into it?
Amir was fun to like Magic Mike it a little bit, and Alex then is like, "Here are my balls," and you're like, different vibes.
And it's here's the thing is like Amir was just on the table, like didn't really interact. Like, can you imagine if he like did that on one of them? Like that's just it's taking it one step too far. He wouldn't,
because remember he asked Jordan if he had her consent to do a lap
dance.
Dance. Okay, so whoever edited this is fucking hilarious because there's sparkles and it looks like a 90s music video. It's so fun. So Preston is so happy with how Pride turned out. He's black and he's queer and he's proud. Simon's drunk.
Love.
He says he's really enjoying this and he sees them as his friends now.
My
whole heart.
I love him.
Amir flings himself into Jordan's bed, and this is when I realize I like this friendship. I hope that they keep this friendship alive. Silas asked Jasmine, "Hey, can we circle back what happened today?" And when I tell you I hate in an email and in real life the term "let's circle back," fuck you. So we have to talk about his pants. And he just wants to make sure that Jasmine knows why he was mad about his pants. because she gave minimal effort to then fix his pants.
I was shocked at that. I really thought he was going to be like, hey, can we? Because I thought he was going to, when he said, I really want to talk about why I'm mad, it's like, okay, let's talk about it. So it's like let's not do this again. Like, let's avoid this. And I thought he was going to say, like, I wish you just would have listened to me when I said I didn't want them
Iron.
And that would make sense to me. But
no,
he gave minimal effort in fixing the problem. No.
So you did this problem, and I want you to know that I'm fucking still mad at you. And also, you didn't even fix my pants. Okay.
I would have been like, oh, I didn't realize you were a helpless child, you idiot.
Jasmine is basically like, your mentality right now is a turnoff.
Love that.
And Silas gets so mad. And he's like, how dare you call me a turnoff? You don't know how to iron. Come back. And Jasmine, she's like, I'm about to open this door so everyone can hear how you speak to me because this is ridiculous. And I literally out loud was like, leave this man.
I was like, now. Thank God we have 24/7 surveillance because people are going to see it, Jasmine. Like, don't you worry, sweetheart.
Leave him. So it's day 13. It's the next morning. Silas needs to use Jasmine's toothbrush because he used his to clean his pants.
I had to rewind this because I thought he said, you are going to have to use my toothbrush because I used yours. I thought he used her toothbrush, and I literally almost threw my remote at my TV, but I rewound it and I listened to it and got it correct. But woo.
I was like, I hope this man stayed up all night with his toothbrush in hand.
This is just fixing so dumb.
All you need is a Tide to Go pen.
She said that. And you kept berating her about the problem instead of letting her fix it. So yeah, she gave minimal effort.
I'm so happy she ignores him about the toothbrush. She probably dumped that shit in the
I really appreciate her just not responding to him at all.
So Alex is rapping while brushing his teeth. Shanice is getting ready to leave. She had a great time. Girls' night was the best. She can't wait to come back next summer. Hopefully everyone's less serious because her tits were out. She says bye to everyone and she's ready to move on with Alex because she doesn't care.
Good for her.
Go back to your insecure actor. No, I'm just kidding.
Bye, Shanice. It was great having you. I feel like she's best just on the weekends.
Yeah, agreed. So Jason checks in with Jasmine. She tells Jason she fought with Simon, and he's like, both of you have this like concept of what a wife should be, and you're fussing over if the concept is right or not. Like, just like live and see what happens. And Jasmine's like, I'm just tired. So she makes Silas a meal because she's in charge of breakfast, as we've learned. And she brings it to him and he like picks at it, but he's not really going to eat it. So she basically is like, are you not going to eat my breakfast? And he's like, I'm not good with bread and potatoes and starches. And she's like exhausted. She's just tired.
Did you eat the mac and cheese last night? Because I bet you fucking did.
I immediately thought of the mac and cheese. Also, I don't trust people that aren't good with bread and starches. So fuck you.
Well, listen, I get it. It's more filling. Like sometimes I don't want to eat those items, but like eat a little bit. You don't have to eat the whole thing. I would understand if he ate half of it and that was his explanation of why he didn't eat the whole thing.
Also, you don't have to be like, you know that I'm not good or bad, and that you could have just said like, my stomach's really itchy, like bothering me. I'm sorry, I'm not eating.
No, but he wants to dig at her. It's
So then Jasmine's like, will we stand the rest of time? And I'm like, I hope not. I'm rooting against it.
I am rooting against it, but for Jasmine, actually.
For Jasmine.
For Jasmine against this marriage.
I want her, like how I'm kind of rooting for an Amir Jordan slow burn a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rooting so against this relationship. I wanted a fast end. I want a fast break immediately.
Like, the way he yelled at her last night and what he deemed probably as private. Circle
back on why you suck?
No.
What?
No.
Harden. I want her to so fast turn around and be like, you eat my starches or I'm sending you divorce papers.
Or like, I'm not making you another breakfast.
I want that to come out of her mouth immediately.
I would make starches every morning for breakfast.
Same. And I'd be like, I hope you starve to death and I get the whole estate.
Make your own breakfast.
Fuck you. So next time on the season finale, we have the African American Heritage Trail.
Cannot wait.
Which I believe I did in Martha's Vineyard. Well, it was like on a part of a tour. So it's hard to know if I did this whole thing, but I saw it. We cheers to Martha. Nick and Alex put on their Lux at the Bluff thing. Everyone gets lit. Jasmine talks to Silas. they, oh my God, who would have guessed, fight again. And everyone hears the fight as
I
he
can't-
threatens her.
I can't wait to watch this.
I would listen. I am the type of person, if I hear my friend's boyfriend threaten her, I'm in ready to fight. I go into full fight mode and I'm like, you fight, I'm here, I'm ready.
I was thinking it would be hard for me to be friends with someone in a relationship like this because I would do the same and I feel like they would not want that. And so
But
I
that's
would
when-
slowly remove myself from being friends with this person.
That's when it's like they're not going to appreciate that because they're just going to get back together with the ex. So I
Yep.
can, on my conscience, I'm like, I did great. Fuck you then if you don't want my help. I
Yeah.
actually literally had this happen in college. My friend's boyfriend was literally yelling at her and it started to get scary. And I went in swinging. I had to be dragged out by another dude.
It's hard.
It was crazy. And I was never friends with her again because she went back to him. Anyway, so
Mhm.
then we get Bria and Simon fighting, and then
Oof.
Summer and Bria physically fight. What's Summer doing here?
I'm nervous, but I can't wait for this finale.
I can't either. Okay, should we do fun? Let's start with not fun. Can we? Can we please?
Yes.
I'm picking
Yes.
Alex because I think this
Mm.
man, first of all, stop sexualizing literally everything, and
Yeah.
B, you really caused a lot of issues with Amir, my king, and Jordan, my queen. Okay, if you could
know.
just shut the fuck up for 2 fucking seconds. I appreciate how you handle it once you're in the midst, but maybe you are the villain. You ever think of that? You ever think about it?
100%. Yeah. Take a look in the mirror and see what you can do
Figure
better.
it out. Visual.
I'm going with the not fun king, Silas. Like I cannot with this. Like you
The
didn't work
woke.
hard enough on my pants.
I'm tired. I'm tired of this man. I can't even
I-
be mad anymore. I'm done with him.
I don't even know what's going on with next season because we haven't looked into it really, but like
Get him divorced.
it's gonna be really hard to watch.
I wish there was a reunion just so Andy could read the tweets about how much Silas probably sucks.
The only way I can like watch Silas on my screen next season is at the top of the first episode, Silas details to me all the therapy he's done to work on himself.
I need him to know how shitty. That's the other thing is since there's no reunion, it's possible he wasn't held to his like what he said. And I want him to know how shitty he is. That I hope
like I need
Twitter
Jasmine
is
to be on
over.
screen and be like, yeah, last summer was really hard. Here's what we've done. And
Yeah.
and then her and Silas to sit together and be like, yep, here's what or I need
Here's what I've
Jasmine
done.
to say last season was hard, and then them together to be like, here's what we have been doing to work on our marriage.
Or we've learned we're not supposed to be married.
There's no way. I think they're still together.
Oh my God. My life.
I think that they would hold on tight for a long time. And by a long time, I mean like a year and a half, 2 years.
I want to die. Okay, so who's your fun?
I'm going Simon. I fucking love Simon. Like he is just giving me all the little quips behind the scenes that like I truly
Rick Ross
need out of this show. Him being drunk talking to Bria. It's the little things for me. Like listen, I love this show a lot and I hate to pick the only white person because like there was a lot of good stuff on it.
Yeah.
But this episode with all the bad stuff, I needed the little things. And for
when
me,
Milo farted on him and he's like, that's so
Yes.
cute. He goes, may I walk Milo?
The
It
way he was
so
like
cute.
going back to brunch and showing up with like all these strangers, and then at the end of like
Yeah.
that party, the pride party, he's like, I think these people are all my friends now too. Like I need Simon next season.
It was cute. It shows like a good man compared to the bad one. I'm gonna pick for my fun. I'm picking Jordan. I like that she opened up a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I like that she had her moment to kind of shine. And I like her and Amir's friendship. And I want her to continue to grow that because I think Amir's a really good person to have in your corner. But I do like how she stood up for herself and she made herself perfectly clear. And I like her taking her power back.
Me too. I like how it doesn't seem to have affected Amir and Jordan's friendship. Like they can still walk the friendship path.
I like
because that's what she wants.
I like them platonically laying in bed together, hanging out. And I think Amir is a grown up enough to be like, she doesn't like me, but like we like each other as friends. We enjoy each other's company. Let's like keep doing that. And I want Jordan to fight for that friendship. And
100%.
I think she is. I think she fully is fighting for that friendship.
Also, gold star to Preston because loved Pride Night.
Love Pride. Pride was so fun.
Soul food. I love him cooking, everything about him.
Who
So
knew that you had a boyfriend? We're so happy for you and your partner. Okay, great. Do all the things. We will be back with the season finale next
so excited.
episode. Oh my God, this is so fun. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.